All right. The great in between. The great in between. Those of you that are coming in and deciding to stay in, coming in love and light, high vibes and positivities, I welcome you. Happy pre-full moon. I want to say there's going to be a full moon in Leo tomorrow. And so I'm sure you all are feeling the energies of that. Fire, okay? Courageous energies coming through. But anyway, those of you who are coming in love and light and deciding to stay, I welcome you. Thank you for joining. Please do start tapping on the screen, showing your support, yada, yada, yada. I feel like a broken record, but you know, the way of human life, right? Having to constantly be reminded or remind, folks to operate in benevolence, and to, when there's something that's not for us, to learn how to go neutral and learn how to go in another direction rather than continuing to rack up shit, whether we're fully consciously aware of this or not, for ourselves, because we insist on projecting toxic or negative energy towards people that we don't like or we don't agree with and things of that nature. But for those of you who are coming and deciding to stay, tap on that screen if you're in a good energy. If I'm not your flavor, guess what? I'll be okay, and so will you. But it serves you to go to the left, okay? Because I'm not here to intrude on people. See, that's the thing about when we're on some kind of an awakening path. We realize this. You're not here to intrude. But if people are intruding on you, right? You, what you do, your space, that's a whole nother animal, and they'll be dealt with accordingly. Now, again, I'm going to say it again. If you're here in love and light, what do I mean by that? Benevolence, positive energy, no ill will, no hidden dishonor towards the content creator, towards me, right? You're here, you're deciding to sit here, and you're deciding to stay here for some reason. Because you could be on something else, right? You could be looking at something else, but you're deciding to stay here. If you're deciding to stay here and you're in love and light, show that. Okay, whoever clicked on the screen and did that, thank you. Those of you who do that out of sincerity, I want to thank you for that. And I promise you, if that's truly your energy, you will be receiving that back because you're putting it out there. You're putting gratitude, kindness, supportive energy out. So this means that if that's your frequency at some juncture, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you are going to be on the receiving end of that same energy. It's very simple. Humans make things complex. Low vibratory beings make things complex, but it's actually simple. We don't have to be sophisticated. We don't have to be even well educated. We don't have to be in any particular religious or spiritual bent. It's very basic. Okay? So, thank you. Thank you. Now, to the topic at hand, the great in between. While you guys are looking at Bloomy Lisa smile photo here, I know it's Mona Lisa, right? But this is me. It's me, actually. Bloomy Lisa. Hiding secrets. I know things. I know things. I know codes. I know the truth. Now, let's talk about the great in between. So those of you who are on an ascension path, an awakening path, and if you've been on it for some time, I'm really talking to those that have been kind of on the path for a while. Okay. So you have done a level of healing. You've done a level of ascension. You have been able to master your shadow. You've been able to release the illusions and things that once upon a time you fought tooth and nail to hold on to. You've broken through and got past that stage. Okay, the initial stages through the awakening, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance that we're still not quite ready to release. So I'm addressing those of you who've passed that. So for you, this is what you're going to find. There's going to be newly awakened people, or people that are going through the dark nights of the soul, whether they're even familiar with what's happening, that are going to be drawn to you. They don't know why they're drawn to you, but they are. Okay. But because they're on an initial part of this process, they're still fighting. They're still at the phase where they're holding on to belief systems that is disempowering because they're still going through the dissonance. It's still a lot of shock. They're still a little bit discombobulated, right? They're drawn to your healing energy. So this is what I want to tell you. It doesn't serve to, you don't need to argue with these types. Don't get into the arguments. Don't try to convince them anything. But have a very healthy boundary and don't feed. Okay, because they're going to have to go through down that rabbit hole completely, like you, when they're ready. Okay, so they may be drawn to you and they may be still trying to hold on to those beliefs and even trying to, it's a word I'm looking for and I can't find it, but it's like they're coming to you almost trying to act like they're trying to help you in some way, and they may not mean any harm. So this is why I'm saying they're still there, but you don't have to feed that or appease that because maybe you don't want to hurt their feelings or you don't want them to feel, some kind of way because you're like, okay, they don't mean me no personal harm, right? And I don't want them to feel some kind of way. So the best thing that you can do is you may have to go neutral and only respond to things that are really more in resonance with awakening. And then also you don't want to feed that part of them that's still they're still trying to get, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're in the low form, they're still trying to get validation in a different way. So I'm trying to be as delicate and balanced in what I'm saying as I can because I don't want to mislead or confuse. But when you are past certain stages of it, people are coming right behind you. They're drawn to you. So your job is to simply be. The best thing I can say is continue to be in your authenticity, continue to love on yourself, continue to whatever these truths are, like continue to represent, and then let people do what they will with it. But if they're trying to come in and trying to like teach you something and you already see past maybe an illusion in that, you don't have to tell them, look, you're wrong, this is an illusion. You don't have to go there. They're already in a sense of cognitive dissonance. We went through it. If we think back to the initial stages, we went through that at first where we were still trying to hold on a little bit because it would have been too shattering in those moments to believe what the truths really were about what we thought was absolute, what we thought was pure and of light, what we thought was truth. So the most loving thing, okay, because we're not trying to violate people either. They have to go through, okay? But we also don't need to feed them in this way. Okay, it's like, no. And because see what happens when you try to go against what someone believes? What is the first thing? If you're being honest, any of us, what is the first things we have encountered when we're trying to go against something that someone believes? You're going to be met with resistance strongly. You're going to be met. You're going to they're going to try to like get you in debates and arguments. You're going to be labeled one thing and another. They're going to discombobulate and confuse and twist up what you're saying. They're going to try to, you know what I'm saying? Pull text from here and there and not even understanding what the hell it is that they're actually pulling, bitch. See, but this is why we need to stay neutral because it's a futile attempt. I know some beautiful content creators here that I support. I repost their shit. Every so often I go comment on their shit just to let them know, boom, bitch, I got you. I feel you. You're hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple folks on here spitting it. Man, they going with it, bitch. I know they getting controversies, but I've seen their sincerity and I've seen their diligence and efforts and I've seen the opposition, the ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Because a sleep mind is a sleep mind. As simple as that. It's actually that simple. It's not even as complicated as we think it is. Sleep is sleep. It's sleep. Until one is ready. And it's individual. So that's why truth seekers, healers, speakers, whatever we want to call ourselves, the best thing we can do is just be. Just be. And present and represent and hold space. But don't get caught in the tussle. Sometimes, people even think they're equal to you in a sense of, and I'm not talking about, maybe that's not a good word. They, in the newly awakened stages, and they're still in cognitive dissonance, and they're still trying to hold on to remnants of something that's actually no longer serving their soul, but because it will be too life altering and shattering to accept it, they're still trying to hold on to it, and they think that they can match you. It's not for us to get into that, because that's another futile, experience. Because it's not about comparing. It's not about trying to see, well, I know this and I know that. Well, no. It's like, we're not doing that. Because, again, awakening, healing. It's not about factoids and a bunch of information. It's transformation. It's conscious evolution. So it's based on conduct. It's based on frequency, intentions, motivation. What's motivating you? Awareness. Balance. All these things. It's not a fucking competition. So, but when people are in the beginning stages, they're still a little bit in that, and that's okay. So for those of you that feel like you kind of passed maybe level 1 and 2 aspects of this process, where you've been able to let go of the illusion, you've been able to let go of disempowering belief systems, the bullshit, the tricks, like you went down that rabbit hole, the secrets, about them secret societies, about, all this shit that be happening that nobody talks about. You heard? The only thing we can do is allow. Okay? Just allow. And keep moving forward. But we don't have to appease, man. One of the hardest lessons for me, it is still a struggle on some level, because it's, when you are unprogramming yourself, right? Becoming something totally different, right? Those old programs, those old ways sometimes still is there. Oh, I'm a nice person. I love everybody. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I understand. And these are all good things, good energies. They're good energies to have, as long as it doesn't get us in the place of like we're not being authentic, and or we're denying our truth, right? So let's say somebody shares something, like we don't have to automatically like it, right? Okay. But I actually have a hard time. And I have to like ask for help for that, because I'm like, well, okay, because I'm about fairness and justice. Y'all know me. At the base, what it comes down to for me at the end of the day is fairness and justice. Boom. I simplify this shit. Other people make this shit complicated. But for me, it comes down to, look, I don't have to understand everything about people. I don't have to know everything about people. I don't have to agree with everything about people. I don't have to believe how they believe. I don't have to think how they think. I don't have to see the world the way they do. I don't have to have the same likes as they do for me to have the energy and frequency of understanding that they too deserve justice and fairness. The same justice and fairness that I feel entitled to, then they too deserve. If they're not violating me and hurting me or my children or anything that I do and create and crossing my lines and boundaries, then they too deserve that same thing. But with that being my frequency, I also too don't have to necessarily like everything or engage, especially when my discernment has kicked in to let me know, okay, someone's going through the dark night of the soul. they're not quite catching it yet, they're going through an awakening, pay attention to their patterns. See, I've had to learn to stop and observe. Stop and observe. Just stop. So one of the things I do as a standard, I don't even have to think about it anymore. Even people here on my TikTok or my YouTube or anything, like I look at trends. People can say whatever they want to say to me, but I'm going to watch. If individuals aren't really liking the things that I create, right? Let's say, for an example, I create shorts here and then I go live here. But if I can see that I don't really see them supporting anything that I do create in the shorts, I'm not mad at the people, collective. It ain't like that, but it's giving me the information that I need. Especially if these are individuals that maybe they inbox me, they share things with me, and so forth. So there's a level of activity. Okay. So what I've learned how to do is like that's fine and dandy, but I'm going to watch. Because if I don't see, like I used to make this comment, if I got to pull teeth to get somebody to like something, then they really don't want to like something. If I gotta send an inbox and I gotta do this and that or this to get somebody to like something that's already watching you and following you, by the way, okay, and you're aware of it, then they obviously don't want to. So there was a coercion to get them to do it. So this is giving me information. So you guys hear me talk about this stuff all the time because I don't feel like it's taught. We're taught a whole lot of shit, but learning how to read energy, not so much. Learning how to, discern nonverbal shit as well. Not just actions or lack thereof. You see what I'm saying? And we do have to have a level of level-headedness. You do have to be kind of in a position where you're able to be still and watch. Because then you can determine, okay, where's the pattern? Okay, do this silently. And once you have discovered this, like I said again, please hear me. We don't have to judge. We don't have to get into a big thither and a fuss about this. It's a matter of observation and then cutting it. Without a discussion and without explanation. And that's because people have to go on their perspective journeys and go through what they got to go through. But I'm not going to be feeding people that are really drawn to me for the healing energy. I'm not going to be feeding them where they're at, like to make them feel some kind of way while they simultaneously don't quite support what I do. Then that's telling me that they're not there yet, and that's okay. So what I'll do is what I go ghost. I've gotten really good at this. It's just like, oh, bye-bye. And it don't even be mad. Like, it don't be mad. It don't be bitter. It don't be none of those things. I've just learned that I have a right. This is something we're not taught, right? Because people want opportunity to gaslight, triangulate, get in your head, make excuses. They want to keep feeding off of you. They want to keep you engaging. It's like you're not two. So obviously you're revealing your frequency. I don't need to have a PowerPoint presentation with you. I don't need to ask you another question. You know who I am and you follow me. You watch what I do. So either you like it or you don't. And if you don't, then there's really no reason why I need to be exchanging. Because you're not going to teach me. Especially if I've gone past certain awakening process. I'm not saying I'm better, collective. That's not what I'm implying about folks that have went past things. But you know what you know. And people are drawn to you. Chances are they're getting ideas from you. Chances are they're being inspired by you, but they can't quite put their finger on things as they're going through the dark night of the soul and going through cognitive dissonance and still trying to hold on to systems of belief that they're afraid to release entirely because they're afraid of what it's going to look like to this community, what mommy and daddy is going to say, if there people are going to start calling them demons and devils, if people are going to, you know what I'm saying, when we should be more concerned with conduct. See, this is something that you get to understand when you get to that phase where people are fighting so hard and so long to fight about belief systems and labels and all this stuff. When we reduce shit to what matters, it's conduct. It's the treatment of all. But when we're still stuck on how things look, then we just are not there yet. And guess what? We have all been there. That's a part of the awakening. Those are the stages you go through. But like there are certain videos that I like of certain people, and then sometimes I do duets. I'm gonna tell you guys, just on to keep it on the one hand status. I'm just finna to tell you, bitch, and let you understand. You know what I'm saying? Here I go, team. I'm getting in that energy. Here I go. I'm finna do it. Because look, please do not automatically assume that because I share something that first and foremost, that I know the person, that I know their life, that I agree 100% with everything they think, create, and believe, because that would be erroneous. Okay? When I share things, it's a base principle that something is that they're sharing that I am in agreement with. Okay? And that's all that it represents. It's all that it means. Okay? And it's only because I'm able to sift through things. I've learned how to do this over the years. Okay? Find validity in things that people say. It's not about, okay, me and you, boom, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Like, no, because I'm past that stage. I'm not holding on to that. Okay? Because I see, you know what I'm saying, through the illusion shit. And guess what? I'm equally not judging you. See, this is when you know someone's awakened. I'm telling y'all, I'm giving you the playbook. This is when you know people are ascending, because they don't have to do that. They don't have to necessarily, judge these people. It's behavior that we judge, not someone's belief. Understood? It's conduct. It's conduct. It is how people are treating folks that gets under the gun. Not because they subscribe to this or that and this or that. It's like, how, look, let's just sit down. Let's take off all these uniforms and outfits, bitch. Okay, let's talk about it. What you doing? What kind of energy you're projecting out there to motherfuckers? Let's talk about that. Okay? How are you talking about folks? How are you treating folks? What you're doing in secret, you say. See, these are the things we put under the gun big. Now that's under the gun. But it has nothing to do with subscriptions. I go hard. You guys hear me go hard because I'm going to use what they use. If they want to play that game, then I'm going to use what they use to reveal their hypocrisy. But it ain't about that for me. It's about justice. I'm going to keep saying that. Basic human decency and justice and fairness for all, and not doing weird nigga bitch shit to people. Okay? While simultaneously trying to subscribe to some kind of spirituality and religion. Simple as that. Okay? So anyway, for the high vibers, I hope this helps to empower you to know, like, even if you feel for the people newly awakening, you got to kind of just let them do that. And if they're drawn to you, then okay. But keep the boundaries up. You don't really have to engage. You don't have to. You don't have to encourage certain activities. Like, I don't need things to be sent. I can appreciate people sharing things with me, if it's valid, of course. But I'm more watching, like, apparently, I'm on this platform and then people are watching who I am, what I do. So I'm kind of watching how people are engaging with that. And If there's no engagement there, like I said, people who are still worrying about being ashamed and in those frequencies, then they're going to have to kind of, to the left. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, well, there's not going to be no personal interaction, because that's where they're trying to get that feed, that energy exchange. It's like, no, 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 no. And it's the silent, yo. It's silent. I'm very silent with this. It's felt. I know it's felt. And when I pick up patterns and start recognizing where I'm not being supportive, this is where you guys hear me make statements. If I see a trend, and I'm not talking about like the megas, because there's some people that I know, like, they can't really maintain, because they may have, they're up there, up there, up there. Okay. And so that's a little bit different of a category for me. But I'm talking about people that, I have exchanged with back and forth. We're mutual followers of one another, and all that good old shit. The more I see that they're not really engaging, I slowly pull back. I do it quiet, where I'll stop liking their content. I'll stop sharing it, and they need to know why. They need to feel that. Like, listen, I'm about mutual support. Once I see that, I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'm not mad, but they won't be getting no feeding from me. I'll start blocking people. I'll start removing people. And again, it's because I'm not thirsty. So I don't get stuck on, oh, the number went down 2 numbers. It's like, okay, shit, good riddance, bitch. Like, that's kind of my energy, just to keep it real. Because I don't want people who don't want to be there. You see the liberation we feel when we let go of this attachment? Like, do you want people to be there who don't want to be there? Do you really? Do you really want followers and subscribers that are there with ill will and intention anyway to begin with, and they just was hiding the shit, bitch? Like, it's good riddance. That's how I feel, because I'm like, great, now we're making space for people, bitch, you know what I'm saying, that are truly divinely guided, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on a whole nother page on this shit, man. And I know people be getting stuck, but I don't. Because I've been talking, see, this is what people don't get. I was doing this when there was 0 followers, 0 subscribers. Yes, yes, yes. For years. And this is the part that people don't catch sometimes. It's like, not everybody is just doing shit just because it's trending, or just because, what wooty woo. It's a soul thing there. I was sitting on lives on YouTube when it was nobody coming on the shit, bitch. Okay? And was talking the same way I'm talking to you now. Was doing the same shit. It's a soul thing. The moment we get stuck on numbers, this is the moment where we'll slowly start losing our authenticity, I promise you. Because we'll be worried about who liked what you said and who didn't, who agreed with it, who don't. And we'll start getting overly focused on that in a negative way. Okay? So, anyway, I feel like I'm going off already. Damn. I said I'm not going to do it for a day or two. But just keep these boundaries up. Start watching people. Okay? Start watching people. See if they're supportive or not. Just watch, especially in social media. See if they're supporting, or are they only liking the things that you create that's a duet with them, bitch? Because I know about those types too. Okay? And some of them I'm granting a grace because I know that they're maybe their scale, their arenas are a little bit larger scaled, and so I grant them a level of grace. Okay, I do. I do because I'm like, well, but motherfuckers that like, boom, bitch, like that I engage with, or that, you see what I'm saying? That inbox and whoop-de whoop. Yeah, I'll be watching them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I am. See, people, I just look like this. I'm gonna have to put that on a t-shirt. I just look like this. I know I look simple, right? But it's like, boy, don't get this shit twisted. I just look like this. The Om lady only just looks like this. You heard? She knows shit. If y'all was on my YouTube, if y'all would have went on YouTube earlier, I did like a 5-minute YouTube live. It'll tell you in that 5 minutes, it's gonna give you some understanding about my capability. And the things in which I'm privy to know. And then people seeing the shit go down. I know I'm off topic, bitch, but shit go down. Then motherfuckers be running and crying and screaming. Well, see, I'm done. I'm done. That's why I'm laughing because I'm like, well, I ain't trying to hear it. See, people either go somewhere, wake up and heal and deal with their shit. Because see, that's what we're all here to do. Without fucking with people. So fucking with people, we need to understand the laws of the universe. With the fucking with people, we will be fucked with. Okay? I just don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just like, I don't know why people think they gonna get away with shit, because ain't none of them. We're here to deal with our own shit properly, hopefully, in the most loving way we can, hopefully, without crossing lines and violating other people, because I just have to put public notice. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. We fuck with people, we will be fucked with. This is including all of the secret societies as well. That's been here since the ancient of times. They're not exempt. They're probably finding this out as I'm talking right now. Some of them. We're here to deal. Light ones aren't to be fucked with. Sorry. I'm sorry if that makes, trigger warning and stuff. They're just not. It's a heavy penalty. People pay, will pay, and continue to pay. It's just not. Sorry. I can hear the energy of people saying, what makes them better than nothing? Absolutely nothing. Their soul resonance and who they are and their frequency and vibration is what makes the difference. Ideally, nobody should be fucking with nobody on a whole scale. But unfortunately, lower vibrational people, beings, whatever you want to call it, they don't quite understand that. There are ranks There are soul paths and journeys. Whether people fully understand this or not, that's too bad as well. But this is why we ought not be doing fucked up shit, because you just really never know. As where maybe penalties rise, you know what I'm saying? And the people just don't get that until it's too late. Power hungry. Vengeance driven people don't get it until they are utterly destroyed. I put the warning out on my YouTube, and I mean it. I'm going to actually pin it to my community tab, bitch. Light ones, if you're here later watching this, we have a right to defend. We're here. We're all here to work our deal out, to deal with our shit. But you're not here to fuck with other people and think you're not going to be fucked with. This needs to be understood. And it will be understood. Collective, just allow. Continue to do your part. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to share. Okay. So for those of you that are, this is kind of related, but kind of not. But this is for those of you that are, you're doing the egg cleanses. So I saw there was somebody who created something here on TikTok about that. I wish I remember who it was. It was a while back. So they shared the part where how you have to complete an egg cleanse. So I just wanted to say, if you're into that, you know, if you're being drawn to that, do your due diligence and research. You may be able to search it out here as well. But once you do the cleanse and then you read the you know, what comes out in the egg cleanse, you determine what it was or what it is. Then there's a finishing. There's parts you have to do to, like, that's the release, right? It's picking up the energy that was pulled away, and then you finish it. So be sure to complete the egg cleanse. Once you do the reading with the egg and you put it in the glass and the water, the woo-de-woo, be sure to complete it, okay? And it's simple. It's very basic. This is I think it involves cayenne or red chili peppers, hot sauce, garlic, and just regular salt. Okay, so look into that, because that's what's going to be real good. Bitch, that's all the elements, bitch. Oh, make it a little I'm telling y'all. Be sure, okay, to do that. And then if you're feeling guided, because, I mean, you know your situation. If you're trying to do it on behalf of your children, there's a couple of ways you can set an intention and be proxy. If they're open to allowing you to rub it around their head, just feel guided. What you can do for your children, okay? Because the sickos that are doing shit on people's kids, man, y'all, oh man, all I gotta say is, woo. Yeah, let's just say I'm enjoying. You don't fuck with kids. I have a certain level of disgust for those motherfuckers. I have zero mercy. Zero. For them, they group, they friends, bitch, any of them. Anybody that's okay with that kind of thing for any reason or gain is disgusting. Disgusting. And what they end up receiving, they full well deserve. So just remember, to continue to complete the cleanse, okay? I also recommend doing it when you feel guided, doing it when you're sensing a lot of offness with your children, do it with the moon cycles, like however you're guided, okay? Hell, for some of you, you might want to, boom, bitch, make it a routine, bitch. Daily cleanse, bitch, because for the motherfuckers that's sending the energy they finna get, they gonna feel it. You heard? Set your intentions with it. And listen to me. There is a fail-proof way, okay? A lot of us, because I was this way, because you don't want to hurt. When you have a pure heart, your intention is not vile. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to hurt innocent lives and people who, you know what I'm saying? So the fail-proof way is setting intentions and asking your guides, like directing accordingly. Okay? Because we're fallible and can be wrong in terms of who did this, that, blah, blah, blah. So when we set the intention properly, because it's like we're coming from our heart, like, look, we ain't trying to be weird here. This is to be redirecting the energies to the motherfuckers who had the balls to do it. Whether this is the spellcasters, the groups, the collaborators, benefactors, bitch. We are sending it back, you know what I'm saying? That should put you at a state of ease, because if you're of light energy, you have an ethical code you live by. But you also know that you have a right to defend, and you ain't playing with now nobody, and now no more. You heard? And then we gonna smile and go skip and jump double dutch, bitch, and we should go send the sun, bitch, and all that. But we ain't fencing to take shit. I already told my ancestors, I'm like, I want all of them. And yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I surely do. Absolutely. All motherfuckers who fucked with my son. All of them. All of them. They didn't have the balls to pick on someone they own size, so got something for them. You heard? See, collective, because these things, they come for your children. This is these people's vengeance. They're, just think of a low vibrational, kind of toxic, criminally insane, lunatic-y type of energy. So set intentions. Let's set intentions, those of us that are truly of light energy. Let me put it this way. With doing egg cleanses proxy for people maybe that don't know it yet, especially as on behalf of like the special needs communities and, populations that these low level motherfuckers, weird nigga bitch groups feel entitled to fuck with for their energy harvesting and their, because they're pure and innocent. And so they feel entitled, like this is pick apart. So let's give them a run for their goddamn money.